Alright, so today I have the second installation of the Making a Custom cable, which is long overdue, as the last one I uploaded like 3 months ago, and I've gotten a lot of requests to make the second one, so I decided finally today I'll go ahead and record my voiceover. So today, it's not going to be, I'm assuming a lot of the comments were regarding a second part to making the physical keyboard, but today this video is going to be focused on the cable portion of it, so there will be a part 3 that's again already filmed, and I will do my best to edit that and upload it as soon as possible. But anyway, yeah, let's get right into it. Alright, so yes, all the products and parts that I'm using are going to be listed in the description, and I'll go ahead and try and find the links and prices for all of them. But yeah, that was the USB cable, and these are both called techflex. It's like a protective coating, or like a protective netting you can get to go on top of wires. Also, I'm going to go and add right now, my bad for the 720p. That's the best, for this camera angle, that was the best way for me to do it was with my webcam. That was 720p. I do now have a 1080p one though, but yeah. Okay, so this is just regular paracord, and you can just take the inside out of it, so it's got a nylon inside it that gives it its strength, and you can just pull that out of it, and that's what's going to be sleeving your cable. This one's called an aviator connector. It's a 5-pin one, I believe. I got this one at Zap Cables. And now, I think people might be wondering what the point of this is, and I think if you wanted to, you could have several different of these, so you could connect maybe USB-C or different kinds of USB. For me, it was entirely for looks, because I'm not going to be changing this cable. I had some shrink wrap here. Now this shrink wrap actually didn't end up working in the end. It wasn't the correct size, but yeah, you will want some shrink wrap to cover up. Alright, so this is both USB, both ends of the USB. So we got USB-C, and I believe it's USB-A. It's been a while though. Again, all the parts will be listed in the description. Now, with the USB-C, I think I found 2 different kinds when I was looking for how to solder them, and this one was the more difficult of it because it had the 2 plates on one side, and like, I think it was like 6 or 8 on the other side, and you only needed 4 in total. It was like 2 from one side and 2 from the other. Now this was pretty straightforward with those, because you have 4 cables, or 4 wires inside the cable. So here I'm just I'm trying to find the length that I want the first part of my cable to be. So this will be what plugs directly into the keyboard. This was a little coaster that came with the Zap cables when I made my order there. And this was what I used as like a little pad so I didn't damage my table when soldering. It was super helpful, so I did appreciate that. So yeah, inside the USB cable there's like shielding around, so you got four wires inside, the green, white, red, and black, and then there's like just shielding around the outside of it. So yeah, here I'm just stripping all the wires and getting them to a place where you can solder them. Did on both sides there. Yeah, the 5-pin connector is pretty basic. It's pretty simple here. We only need 4 pins, and you just pick whichever ones you want to use. It doesn't really matter which wires go to where. As you'll see later though, you'll just want to make a note of which wires you solder to what, so you can do the same on the other side. Now I'm no electrical engineer here, so I don't know what the specifics on the solder are. I just got that at Radio Shack a long time ago, and my soldering iron is just a wood burner I got from like Michael's. So yeah, as you can see, I just kind of picked arbitrary pins there, and I'm now writing down which colors I got on what pin. Each of the pins were numbered. They had a little number like embossed on each of the pins, so I just wrote that down so I could keep that for when I soldered the other side of it. Yeah, so my choice in color for the paracord, I was trying to get it to match my key set, like my keycap set that you'll see in the end. It's a GMK, well, it's based on the GMK like 9009, and my goal was I was kind of going for a minty, I was wanting to get kind of this minty green, so I figured if I did a kind of olive green or dark green paracord, and then I used white or clear techflex. That's why I got both of those. I could test to see which would kind of give it a better color in the end, and I think I got pretty close with it. But yeah, I used duct tape to keep the wires from fraying while they're inside, because they kept catching while I was trying to slip the paracord on. So I just did that, and then you could just take that the duct tape off there. Alright, so for the techflex, I actually ended up having to make 2 orders here because I got the wrong dimension. So I ended up using the white techflex on the green paracord, and then both the techflex and the paracord, you can burn or you can use a flame to kind of mold them, get them I guess cauterized, if that's the right word, but just to stop them from fraying. So yeah, here I have the part that screws on. So you have the actual connector, and then you have like almost like a sleeving for the aviator, and that just screws together, and then it's got a little clamp on the end with 2 small screws that kind of works almost as shrink wrap, or like, yeah, it gives it a clean finish look there and protects it. So as you can see, yeah, it's got the 6 pins on that one side, or the 6 soldering points. Yeah, so I did a lot of research here, and you can pause this and look at this if you are building your own cable to see kind of what goes where. So yeah. So I ended up soldering 2 of the leads to one side and then 2 to the other in the middle. Yeah, so here I the actual sleeving for the USB-C needs to go on before you solder. So I ended up just undoing that and then resoldering it and putting that on first. Yeah, I was hoping originally that the USB-C, it's just tough to gauge, but I was hoping it would cover up more. And then yeah, for the other part, so the majority of the keycaps are kind of like a cream, like a light grayish cream color. So I decided for the bulk of the wire I wanted to go with that color. And then I will end up putting a clear techflex over top of that, which kind of lightens it up a little bit. And yeah, that I timed it. Actually, I think it came out around 57, 59 minutes of just coating this wire. I forget the total length that I did in the end, but yeah, it took a long time just threading it through. You'll need patience for this project. Now I get to do it again, but with the techflex. Again, I'm using a flame to just kind of cauterize the end of it. I don't know if cauterize is the right word. That might only be for like, I know it's definitely used for like when you, with human flesh. I'll just say I'm searing the end of it again with the flame. This process was a lot faster with the techflex instead of the paracord, as the techflex can kind of scrunch up and it's a lot easier to inchworm it along the wire, as opposed to the paracord, which was pretty tight and had a lot of friction moving it across the wire. There we got the bulk of the wire all finished up and sleeved. It has a pretty nice texture. I'm a big fan of the feel of these wires. And they definitely feel very protected. Not that that is my goal personally. My goal is entirely for looks. And here is this is like a handle to like a Swiffer. And you just want something around this diameter. I ended up having to do this several times. I think in the end, like 3 or 4 times, I had to coil it up. I don't know if that's because the amount of heat I was using, I should have used more, or whether I didn't do it for long enough, or it wasn't tight enough coil. I'm not sure. In the end, I had a wooden dowel rod that I didn't record most of them, but yeah. So there was my first attempt. I installed a lot of springiness, and you can see at the end, it came uncoiled a bit. So I decided to go for round 2. And a heat gun maybe would work better, but I am using a hair dryer for this. I've heard of people also like sticking it in the oven, like preheating the oven and just sticking it in there. I don't know about that one. But yeah, your goal is just to tightly wind it and then heat it up, and hopefully it will retain that shape somewhat. I will also, in the description, I'll link, I used 2 different Reddit threads for making this wire. One of them was for specifically curling it, or like getting that spiral shape, and the other was for the actual construction of the wire. So I will link both of those below. So yeah, I got a little screw in the side of there so I can take out the actual connector piece. Separate the seating from the black part. And again, these little flaps they're not the same pins they were on the other side, but they are numbered. So you just solder them to those. Again, citing my book of what numbers go to which color. So as you can see there, I put on the sleeving before I soldered it on, which you don't have to do because you could put it on from the other side and slide it all the way up, but I had actually soldered it on the wrong side at first, and I had slid that through, and just going around the coil it kind of uncoils it. But yeah, as you can see, that's what that looks like there, all soldered up. And then I just screw that, that sleeving back on it. Man, after you screw on these aviators, it creates such a clean look to it. Very happy with how these came out. Alright, now we have a final test just to see. Now, as of now, we just know that the power is working off this test, but it is nice to know that that was soldered up correctly. And I can confirm the rest of the keys work as well, as I have been using it for 3 months now and have had no issues with it. But yeah, again, all the parts will be in the description. Any resources I use, I'll try and put it in the description. If you have any questions, definitely ask them. I'm constantly on YouTube, and I'll check them. Even if I don't upload a lot, I am always on YouTube, so I will be checking comments. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, definitely like it, because the more likes I get, it's a lot more motivating to make these. And the more likes, the more people see it, more people can help, and it could potentially grow the channel to a point where I could do more of these projects or up the production value of them. So yeah, definitely just leave a like. It's quick, it's easy, help a lot. So thank you.